Let's bring on board S. Naren, CIO at ICICI Pru AMC. And Naren, seems like the markets are quite jittery about when tapering is going to happen.
Yeah, actually, our belief is that the current account deficit is much lower than May 2013. So, the risk to tapering is not as significant as it was then. And I think we have created a fairly good wall. We have added $20 billion to forex reserves. Our trade deficits are down significantly. But yes, market is still worried about tapering. I would also say that, there are the election results on December 8th would be another room for volatility in the near term because the market is focused on that also. That could be another reason for the volatility in recent past.
But are you focused on the election result, or do you think in the way you invest, election result is just a small event?
See, we cannot be focused on it because we don't have any knowledge of the end result. Having said that, we've clearly seen both May 2009 and May 2004 were both pretty material in terms of how the market moved. So while I can say I know nothing about it and I can't predict anything, the fact is it will have an impact on the market movement. That we have to remember. So from a standpoint of running large investor funds, I think we have to look into it and see what we need to do because the results normally cause a fair amount of volatility. I'm not talking about December 8th, more the national election in May.
So what happens to the markets from now up until tapering? Volatility remains, but do you think we'll latch on to, say, a 5,500, 5,000 kind of Nifty range, or do you think the markets could see significant lows this time around?
No, I think, you look at it, I don't think it is possible for people to predict Nifty levels in the short run, as you've seen. I don't think when the market was at 5,200, people expected that the market will go to 6,300 in a space of 2 months. And on Diwali day, I don't think people really expected what happened just after Diwali day. So I think we have to accept that volatility is the order of the day. We believe very clearly that volatility is going to continue in the markets for the next, till the time maybe the entire issue on taper and interest rate hikes and any China slowdown, China reform, Indian elections. There are so many reasons for volatility, and that has been our belief right through from 2011 onwards. Along with that, what we have seen is that if you exclude the entire costly pack, like the consumer pack, I think the rest of the market is reasonably cheap. So from a medium-term to long-term angle, there are a number of value stocks at this point of time. That has been our belief, and we have been very gladdened by the fact that post-August, the consumer pack has underperformed the market very, very significantly, which was our belief right at the beginning of the year. It didn't work for us from beginning of the year till August, but after that it has actually worked for us.
Government tax paper or government bonds are giving you 8% return. Why should one invest into equities? Because the environment is not strong, earnings have not bottomed out, and if one is getting 8% tax-free return, what is the need to buy into equities?
I am of the view that 10-year at 9.1% is very, very attractive. I mean, there is absolutely no doubt about it. In fact, thanks to the fact that monies came in May, June in a lot of duration funds, there is much more fear on the street in duration than is there for equities. And in my clear reading, I think there is no better asset class at this point of time than high quality fixed income. I think it is one of the most attractive asset classes at this point of time. And in my reading, if you ask me personally, I would say you should be massively overweight high quality fixed income and actually neutral equities. But the reality is investors are massively underweight equities. So if people have a very good exposure to equities, I believe that yes, I think markets, particularly large caps, are fairly valued. I don't think at least 40 to 50% of the market, that is FMCG, pharma, tech, These sectors are not cheap at this point of time, certainly in the large cap, and I would put fixed income over large cap any time, any point at this point of time. However, one should remember that the way equity market works, if there are political triggers, the return will come very quickly in equity markets, and then after that you can go back to a volatility phase.
Naren, as of now, a lot of market participants are of the view that the rate of change for cyclicals will be strong. Do you think we have a price bottom in place for private banks, PSU banks, and for that matter, cyclicals?
It appears to be that the August bottom is a pretty strong bottom. I think at that point of time, when you look back, I think you had a confluence of bearish reasons, and many of those stocks really broke down in the second half of August, and that looks to be a durable bottom at this point of time. Having said that, I think the only risk remains the election next year. Other than that, clearly I think the valuation premium of the defensives had gone to record highs, and I don't think that will last, and cyclicals have a long way to go. There are only minor improvements which are required in the economy for the cyclicals to perform. My own personal belief is you're not going to have continuously 1% IIP growth as you have had for the last 2 years. I think if I take a 2-year view, you're going to see a much higher IIP growth. And that will be the trigger for the cyclicals. The PMI is at record low right now. So I think all these things are going to improve significantly from here.
Naren, before the break you were talking about as to how the valuations are looking relatively peaked out, at least when it comes to large cap defensive names. What about mid caps? They're still, trading at a discount of about 25 to 30%. Give us some themes or names that you like out of the mid cap space.
So actually, what I can say is, people are looking at the August to November rally and saying mid caps have gone up. What I believe is if I take a 6-year view or a 3-year view or a 4-year view, I don't think mid caps and small caps have done well. Yes, if I take a 2-month view, clearly mid caps and small caps have done well. So I think across sectors you get opportunities. We are very careful on the leverage names. The leverage names, if I see import substitution companies, export promotion companies, what we saw from the disbelieving bull market in both Europe and US what we saw was, if your capacity utilization in any sector is low, when the capacity utilization goes up, you have a disproportionate impact on profit because the operating leverage is high. Today, after 2 years of IIP or close to zero, there are wide areas of the market where the capacity utilization have fallen. You can have a 10% increase in capacity utilization in many of these sectors over the next 2 to 3 years, and there can be a 40% increase in profits. So that's what I think we believe in over a 2 to 3 year period.
Then I like the tagline of your new value fund, good companies at a discounted price. Where are good companies at a discounted price in this kind of a market? Because whatever is growing is only priced to perfection.